What's up everyone and welcome back to Fiction Tea Review. Talk about the sci-fi / drama called Equals. Nicholas Hoult as Silas and Kristen Stewart as Nia. Equals is a sci-fi drama and movie written and directed by Drake Doremus, and it stars Nicholas Hoult and Kristen Stewart. It is about a community of people residing in the future, emotionless. Everyone is stiff, the same, and they live repetitive lives. Now, for once, I can actually say that a movie starring Kristen Stewart was actually good and it worked well for her character. There was another movie that I watched that worked well for her character. I think it was like cutting herself or something. Like a Hulu movie. I think it's like a, I don't know, an indie movie. She did good in that too. But yeah, this is like one of the first movies I've seen where Kristen Stewart like does really well. And it's not that her acting is bad, it's just that, you know, it's been very awkward and just uncomfortable feeling that doesn't connect with a lot of her characters that I've seen in the past. But this movie, she did great. I feel like it worked well because the characters were building up their emotions and they went from not having emotions and not feeling to actually having emotion. And her co-star, I feel like they fed off of each other really well. Picture of hidden emotions mixed with impulse really matched her acting, and the guy Holt, her co-star, was kind of the same, so it actually worked. The movie, as far as characters goes and intensity and emotions, like I mentioned, it definitely all meshes well together. The storyline definitely did well, although I feel like low-key the storyline could have been extended more. I still feel like it worked well because it's a story based around love. The ending was pretty cute and it showed how for the sake of love people will be willing to sacrifice and do anything, and what happened, even though in the end, you know, what happened, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it really showed Silas's character really dedicated to trying, and I thought that was pretty important. It also ended with like a to be continued, but like this is the beginning of our journey type of thing with those two characters, which I liked. I mean, although there were parts where I was like, oh my god, is this person gonna die? Is that person gonna die? And maybe it should have, you know? Although there were moments where I thought like this person might die or they're not going to be a happy ending. It turned out to be kind of a happy ending, even though it's a to be continued happy ending. Although there were parts where I kind of wanted it to be like low-key, like some bad stuff happening. I feel like when it came down to the plot, it happened super fast, and that was kind of it. And I was like, I would have low-key liked to see like some sort of maybe like an alternative ending with her leaving without him. I don't know. It still was good for what it was. So the colors with the blue and white made it really intimate for those characters, especially the shadow silhouette-ness of the characters when they were like really close together and you could see that intimacy. You could almost feel it as well. And I think that was a really gripping and a very good scene. Probably one of the best scenes, because the intensity was just so good. So I did watch a couple interviews and I watched that the director actually let them be super free and played music with the actors so that they can really build their connection. How that free range and that freedom helped them a lot to perform better as actors. And I was like, you can really tell because they have that sort of chemistry. Like those two actors have that. You can tell that it might have been awkward in the beginning, but you can see how over time they start to really come together, and the intensity of both of their emotions for each other It's just so intense, so real, and super comfortable. Overall, I like this movie. I would rewatch it again. I like the concept, even though it could be said that, oh, we've seen this before. I still feel like it's a different type of concept, and it's very interesting, very intriguing. In the beginning, you might feel like, oh, this might be boring, but continue to watch it, and I feel like you'll enjoy it. I love that how it was really based focus on the emotions, rather than just the evil or the system or whatever, the community being evil and all that. Even though it shows those parts, it really focused on the emotion, which I really liked. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see y'all for the next review. Before we go, speaking of sci-fi, get you a copy of Rain by me, T Outlaw, yours truly. And it is a story about a group of young adults in a psych ward. This is a psychological thriller / sci-fi book. And these young adults have been living in the psych ward for so long. They have become accustomed to the lifestyle, the routines. They don't really think they're ever going to get out. And then they get this new counselor, and he comes in and he's like, you know, I don't think you guys are crazy. I think something else is going on. And I'm going to get to the bottom of this. And slowly he starts to unveil truth behind the psych ward place, and he learns that maybe you kids have some sort of ability and there's something going on in this place because I'm being haunted and I'm having so many traumatic experience resurface in my life, and this place is weird and it's creepy. That being said, I've been reading this book. I'm trying to figure out where I stopped at. So I'm going to try to, if you want to stick around and hear more about the book, I will continue to read a few pages. So let's figure out. Yes, well, scratching my head, I say, thank you. That's it for today, I guess. For a moment, I watch him shaking repulsively, looking around the room. He turns to ask me if I see the cameras. No, I don't. He walks over to the wall with an ear to the paint pressed against it as if he's listening for something. He turns to me, staring with a startled look. You have to listen closely. I hear them. Shh. Who? I ask. Joseph moves away from the wall. Not now. I decide after taking a few notes to move on, but he interrupts. What are you writing? Oh. I look down at my notes. Just some notes to help me remember things. I wait for a response. It doesn't occur. So, you're the leader of your group? He hollers. Ha! No. Okay. I write. So, it must be Samantha. He glares at me briefly with penetrating eyes. What about Tail? Newbie. He shakes his head. Newbie. Wow. You really are oblivious to it all, huh? Why, there is no leader. Only leaders. The words roll off his tongue thickly, clear and assertive. We are one, newbie. The corner of his eye meets mine, admiring one another's gaze. His eyes are full of pureness, full of innocence. They are full of a time when I was myself sweet, like a baby pup, one who was lost but never found. That's all? Yes, that's all. I stand turning my back. A cold hand grasps my shoulder. Thanks, Leon. You're welcome. I take my leave. I decide to walk to the big boss's office. I knock softly before entering the cold office. A shiver runs down my spine. He greets me with a nod. Our hands meet awkwardly, brushing each other with soft strokes that the usual stern look is given, as well as an eye bat. Hello, sir. I nod. Smith! Ah, welcome. How are you? I nod to reassure I'm fine. A kid holding a casual expression sits on a sofa across from the desk. He has curly black hair, green eyes, pale skin. He looks at me with his eyes full of innocence. Take a seat. I stare at the kid. That's my son, he says. I simper. Nice to meet you. The kid shows teeth. Momentarily, I get lost in his gaze. This kid's eyes hold a well-known spark. He stands up, introducing himself as Nick. What's your name? He asks. His voice is premature yet assertive, like his father's. I mumble. Uh, I mean, I clear my throat. I'm Smith. The boss nods towards his son, telling him to go sit in the waiting room. Upset, the kid stomps his feet, whining. But I thought we were going to visit. Nick, go in the other room now, he demands. The kid rolls his eyes, storming out the office. Kids. He shakes his head, fixes a stack of papers on his desk, and folds his hands. So, what can I do for you, Smith? Well, I just had a talk with Joseph, and he cuts me off. Look, I can't discuss him right now. He's in solitary lockdown. Little shit snuck in the room to see his little girlfriend. God knows what those two are up to. He shakes his head. Can't have those two in one room. Anything is bound to happen. They're dangerous. Unsure if I should speak, I wait a moment before asking. Do you think maybe he just wanted to see her? Avoiding his eyes, I continue. Perhaps he was worried. I mean, they're best friends. Joseph really cares for her. I can see it in his eyes when he talks about her. My eyes shift back to his dismantled expression. I was thinking of having a council with all of them, including those two. I wait while he listens. I mean, when was the last time they were able to be around one another? He folds his dry hands together. I don't think that's a good idea, Smith. He leans forward. His breath reeking of alcohol enters my nostrils. I don't think you heard me the first time. His tone is hoarse. They're highly dangerous. You couldn't even handle the council the other day. Weston told me you freaked out and cried. He snorts. To think you can handle the both of them in one room? Ha! He jeers. I scowl. Look, I'm sorry, sir, but I just need the opportunity to show you. I can help. Smith. He nods. Look, remember your place. Remember your place. He out of pocket. You are just an intern. My little spy. You're simply here to gain trust, take notes, and report back to Rick, myself, or Western. So don't get ahead of yourself. I clean my glasses because they were fogging up. Shakily, my hands push them up, then slides down into my pockets. There is no helping them. Why? They can't be helped. You've seen their conditions, read their files. Those kids are lost. He tilts inward to reassure me. Gone forever. They're lucky enough to have a home like this. Ungrateful little runts. My shoulders straighten. With all due respect, sir, I swallow. My job is... Suddenly the phone rings. He enters screeching at whoever is on the opposite line. It seems almost an eternity as he repeatedly roars to the phone about picking up his son. He finally acknowledges my presence. With his hand covering the mouthpiece, he tells me to step out. I growl, taking my leave from the office. I sit on the sofa in the waiting room. Sitting across from me is the kid, awkwardly. I grin, but he ignores it. Hey, my face twitches. I try to compose fake joy. You, having fun? He blinks. Does it look like I'm having fun? No. Stupid question. I tap my foot. You okay? Asks the kid. No. I stare into the office. It's just I'm really annoyed, you know? Yeah, I know. He glowers at the floorboards. Dad never listens to anyone. He kicks his feet back and forth in the chair, watching me pace the room. When I'm really annoyed or mad, I start singing a song. Suddenly he starts singing. And one day the sun will come out to play, and one day your endless days will leave astray, and one day there will be no pain, no sadness, not a damn thing, because life is easier that way. I know you calling me. I hear you calling me. Come back, come back, come back, come back. I turn to the kid, thanking him. Beautiful song. I start sobbing uncontrollably. Oh no, did I say something wrong? I'm sorry, did I say something wrong? I reach out my hands in an attempt to consult him. Instead it falls short, and I just watch the tears roll. A door slams open. Entering is an elderly woman. Hey, you ready to go? Her voice is comforting. The kid runs towards her, and she gives him a great big hug. Good afternoon, she greets. I nod. I thought we were going to see him today, cries the kid. She squeezes the kid tightly, whispering softly, Not today. I'm sorry. Instantaneously, I find myself crying too. The old woman touches my shoulder. Are you alright, honey? Startled, I wipe my eyes. Yes, I'm sorry. No, no need to apologize. They're just tears. She pulls out a napkin, drying the rain. The boss steps into the room, and everyone becomes silent, with the exception of my sniffles. He tells the kid, "Your grandmother's here now." He pats the kid on his back. "Sorry, son." "But you promised." He sniffles. "I know. No! You're a liar." The kid runs out the office. The elderly woman nods her head. "You're only hurting the boy more by thinking you are protecting him, by not letting him see his brother." He flags her advice. "You'll get over it. Just give him a kiss for me, will you, Mom?" The woman's voice rises like hot baked pie. "You know you are stubborn, just like your father." He walks into the office. She follows. Immediately, a loud argument stirs. I guess that's my cue. Down the hall, I see the kid sitting on the floor weeping in his knees. I walk to stand beside him. Is his seat taken? He lifts his head, lowering it once he notices it's only me. I take a seat beside him and we sit in silence. "You know, my brother was in a place like this before." He lifts his head. "Really?" "Mm-hmm." "Is he still here?" "Well, I don't know. Not anymore. He's where he belongs now." I pause for a moment. The kid just listens, waiting for more. "When he was in here, I got him out. We lived together for a while." I reminisce. "It was great. He was happy." "Did he get out for good behavior?" "Yeah, something like that. He never belonged in a place like this. He wasn't I stop. "I mean, my brother isn't crazy either, so he'll probably be getting out too soon." "He'll probably be getting out soon, too." "Yeah, sure he will." I smile. Straight away, the kid tilts his head to the opposite side, waving to someone behind me. I turn to see nothing except a shadow pass by. He gets up, heading back to the office. "Thanks." He wipes his face. I sit for a moment on the floor, gathering my thoughts. What a nice kid. I close my eyes. His face pops into my head. My brother's round head, bold smile, and brown eyes. The same smile, nose, ears, and thin lips. His hand stroked my face. I can hear his voice. "Look at you. New look, huh? Trying to be like your big bro?" A warmth enters my heart and the rain pours. I pull myself together, heading back to the office. I discover that the kid and the old woman are gone. Full of guilt, I apologize. He looks at the papers on his desk in disgust. Before I can speak, he tells me to leave. His face is red, painted with horns, and his mouth conceals a solid grin. I can see the fire burning those pupils of his. Without a word, I exit, walking down the narrow corridor. I enter a hallway full of paintings. One of a boy with tan skin, another with thick glasses holding his hand smiling, and another picture portrays a woman smiling holding a pale-faced baby. There is a man in the background standing, watching closely, accompanied by jealousy. I squint my eyes, staring closely at the painting. There in the background. There. Right there. An easy voice enters my thoughts. Alarmed, I jump. I turn around to see Neil staring back at me, possessing bold black eyes, a black long sheer shirt, black buckled boots, wearing a head wrap, with thick black curly eyelashes. Her mysterious appearance carries me. Oh, scratching my head, blushing, I eject. "Hey, Neil." I look around the hall. "What are you doing out here alone?" Neil smiles. "Same as you, just chilling." I clear my throat. Neil cuts me off. "Want to know a little secret?" I wait. Neil listens to the echoes. "Fire, eyes, and lies. I spy a fly buzzing on the wall. We are all in disguise. What am I?" "What?" I look at Neil, then at the picture. She repeats. "Fire, eyes, and lies. I spy a fly buzzing on the wall. We are all in disguise. What am I?" In the photo, what do you see?" "I kind of resembles Matt." When I turn around, Neil is gone. I walk back down to my office, take a seat, pondering at an open blank journal, staring back at me. I write, Dear Diary, today was a bizarre day. For instance, just now I swore I saw Neil in the hallway, talking to me in some sort of riddle-like manner, but now I'm not sure if I imagine it or not. And Neil is a character, though, I'll tell you. And the boss, who I just found out has a young son, has what I assume to be another kid who is in a place like this. Perhaps this is the place. It's all so bizarre. The guy gives me the creeps, like something is off with him. And he's most certainly a, a cunt. Wow, that felt good to say. I also consoled a kid and made a friend, as well as gotten to know my patient more. Perhaps I should stop referring to them as my patients. It's rude of me, but